When bad things keep happening to you, the most important thing that we can do is stay present. It is never the situation itself, but our reaction to it that causes all of the problems. The mind can only focus on one thing at a time, and when it is focused in the present moment, you are in a flow state. The rest of the world is blocked out. And so as long as you are not focusing on the problem does not exist. But you might say, well, isn't that just running away from my problems? No, it's not. Because you are not claiming to not deal with the problems. You are simply taking the stand and not allowing your energy to be drained by things that are negative, to forces outside of your control. If you think about it practically, it makes no sense worrying about problems, but rather you have to have trust in something greater. You either can have trust in your own abilities, but it's better to have trust in life, to have trust in God, that the problem has already been solved. It's already been figured out. But you see, as long as we are separated from life that is experienced in the present moment, this is how we cut ourselves off from the blessing. This is how we get trapped in states of disharmony, because this life is the force of order and harmony in the universe. It is the divine intelligence that is evolving everything forward. It exists in infinite abundance. The problem is that we place the limitations upon ourselves and cut ourselves off from our blessings. We do this by allowing the fear in, by allowing the problems to get to us. And this is a lack of trust. And maybe you just haven't had enough experience with surrender and letting go and trusting. This is probably one of the most difficult things we can do, because the mind loves power and control. It wants to put its hands in everything and take credit for doing this or that. But the mind cannot take credit when you surrender and let life do its job. The more we get out of the way, this force of harmony, this force of order begins neutralizing and fixing all of the problems in our life. Why is this? It's because the problems have arisen because we've been cut off from life, because we are out of alignment, because we are out of harmony. And so when you bring harmony back in, things work themselves out. If you feel like death, it is because you are cut off from life. If you are suffering, whether in the moment or whether long term, you are being cut off from life. This suffering, this pain, this darkness, this depression, these problems, they all arise from the same single cause, that is being separated from life. Because the more we are separated from life, the closer we get to death and are forced to experience all of the pain and suffering that comes along with that. The cure is always the same, and so is the root of all problems, the same force. Our energy is the force of creation, and our mind is a tool that directs the flow of energy. So what we give our attention to, that is what we create. So when we're always giving our attention to problems, we create more problems. When we focus on a negative reality, we reinforce this reality. We give it life. And so the antidote is to take your attention away from these negative problems, and at the very least, focus on the solutions. Focus on letting go and being in the present moment. Focus on connecting with life, with being, with your true essence. The more we become a vessel for life, the more easily life can flow through us and work its magic in our reality. The source of all of our problems is the mind that separates us from this life. Let go of the stories, let go of the negative beliefs and the attitudes. Let go of all the garbage that occupies your mind. All of the distractions have to go. Because with each distraction, with each negative thing in your life, that is taking your energy away from that which is good. So the question is, two questions. How much do you want to suffer? And how much do you want to feel happiness and peace? Because most people are content with being in this kind of purgatory halfway place where they're just kind of unsatisfied all the time. Maybe they have glimpses of happiness here and there, but most often it's just like bland, like just a faint uneasiness in the background of our daily life. The more joy and love and peace you want to experience, the more you have to let go of everything. But if you want to hold on to the few things that steal your energy or are negative, then you just sacrifice some of the peace and the joy for that. It's really up to you. It is only when people are pushed to absolute desperation and suffering do they want nothing else but freedom. This is why most people don't awaken in this life, because we are too busy focusing on material things, getting material success, thinking all of the things of the world are going to bring us happiness and peace. And it is only when our life isn't going the way we wanted it to, or going so horrible that we have to look elsewhere. Only then do we finally look within. And here we find freedom. We find all of the things that we were looking for the whole time. But this life was meant to be a distraction from our true selves, our true nature. This life that we are, that is consciousness, has no problems. And so the more you can connect with life in the present moment, the less problems you will have.